Hello students. So students, in the previous class, in this chapter that is metals and non-metals, we were talking about that of the physical properties of metals and non-metals. If we talk about the physical properties of the metals, students, so we will find here that is metals, they possess some properties that is totally different from that of the non-metal, although they are also elements. So the properties that we had seen yesterday, students, in the previous video, that is we have seen that metals basically shows the thermal conductivity. It means there are metals which used to show the good conductivity regarding that of the heat and that of the electricity. So we can say that they are the good conductor of heat and electricity. What about the non-metals? So non-metals are a very poor conductor of heat and electricity. Metals, students, if you talk about the good conductivity, so here all the metals, every metals, they are the good conductor of heat and electricity. If we talk about the non-metals, that whether all the non-metals are the good conductor of heat and electricity, so except graphite, because graphite is what it is used even in the batteries, in the cell. So we can say here that graphite, which is an allotropic form of a carbon, is that particular non-metal which do not show the poor conductivity. Actually, it is supposed to be the good conductivity, good conductor of heat and electricity. Okay. The next one, the next property that we have seen, student, that is sonority. So you see that the metals are there which are sonorous. What is the meaning of a sonority, students? So basically, the object, when beaten with that of the with any other object, it produces sound. So if an object is producing sound, they are sonorous. And if an object, they are not producing sound, they are non-sonorous. So metals generally, they are sonorous, while the non-metal, they do not show the property, they do not produce the sound, so we will say they are non-sonorous. If we talk about the metals, students, sonority itself, so we have seen here that metals generally used for the electric bell, that is also used to, we can say, show the property of sonority. It is also used in making the musical instrument. So by this we came to the conclusion that metals are sonorous, while the non-metals, they do not. So this is the properties that we had discussed, student. Let us move the new property. So here one more property which is left, that is melting point and melting point and boiling point. Melting point and boiling point, students. So I already told you the definition of the melting and the boiling point. That melting point. So if we see this property of the melting point and boiling point, student, we will find that metals are what? They are generally having high melting point, because you need a lot of a heat in order to melt the metals to that of the liquid. And the reason for why the metals are considered to be having very high melting point, student, as well as very high boiling point, it is because they are very hard, they are very strong. So we need more energy, we need more heat in order to make them into the liquid form. So we can write it here, that is metals have generally high melting point and having high melting point and boiling point. So metals have generally high melting and boiling point. Is there any exception is there in which we can say that okay, then that in this metal it is do not have a very high melting and boiling point. So we are saying that metals are generally having high melting point or boiling point because they need more heat, they need more energy, okay, in order to melt it, in order to boil it. So obviously the more harder, more stronger the metal will be, more heat we have to supply. So here the metal which is a soft metal, that will need a very less amount of a heat in order to melt it into the liquid one. Okay, so the metals which is supposed to be the soft one, it will need very less amount of a heat. So which metal is a soft metal, students? So we know that sodium, potassium. Sodium and potassium is this much small that they can be cut with the help of the knife. So we can say that sodium and potassium is there. Any other? Yes, mercury. Mercury, you know that it is in the liquid state, so obviously its melting point and boiling point will be less. And another one is there, student, that is gallium. Gallium has low melting point. So sodium, potassium, mercury and gallium have low melting point. Okay, now not only this, students, if we talk about the non-metals. So in case of a non-metals, except graphite, there is an exception, except graphite as well as diamond, student. While all the non-metals are what? They are having low melting points. Okay, so we can write it here. Others having low melting point. Okay, others, metals and non-metals, are having low melting point, student. Okay, so this is how we can understand about the melting point and boiling point. So this is all about the physical property of that of the metal and non-metal, students. Now let us do one thing. Let us make a 3-column in order to summarize the physical properties of the metals as well as that of the non-metals, students. So if we will summarize the properties, if we have to summarize the properties, so we have to make 3 columns. Here it will be a property of a metal property. This one will be the metals, and finally here non-metals. This is the metals, property, metal and non-metal student. So the first property that we have seen is the physical state. Try to make a column, try to make a table like this, because it will help you to understand or the concept very well in a very short period of a time. So physical state of the metal, we can write here that it is all, they generally are solid at room temperature. So if we look at the physical state of the metal student, we will find that the physical state of metal is solid. All the metals are generally solid at room temperature. Exception is there, student, except mercury. Except mercury, generally all the metals are solid. Here we can write it. It may be solid, liquid or gas. It may be solid, it may be liquid or it may be gas, students. If we look at the second property, student, so the second property is the luster. Luster. Okay, so if we talk about the luster, that whether it shows the shiny appearance or not, so we will say that metals are lustrous. They are generally lustrous. Metal are lustrous. Here we will write non-lustrous. So this is lustrous and that is non-lustrous. Third one, student, and that is malleability. 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 So metals are malleable. They are malleable. And non-metals are non-malleable. So metals are malleable while non-metals are non-malleable. Then the next one is ductility. So metals are ductile while the non-metals are non-ductile. Okay, so metals are generally ductile while the non-metals are generally non-ductile. Then the next property is a student, that is hardness. Who is hard? So hardness, students. So next property is hardness. Generally hard. Generally hard is there, students. Okay, although we know that there is an exception, and that exception is sodium, potassium. Sodium and potassium. Here generally soft, except diamond. They are generally soft except diamond. Here they are generally hard except sodium and potassium. Next property is conductivity. Sodium is there, student, and potassium. Then sixth one is, that is electrical conductivity. Electrical conductivity. So here, good conductors. Good conductors of electricity. They are the good conductor of electricity. Here they are the poor conductors of electricity. They are the poor conductor of electricity. Good conductor and poor conductor. Good conductor and poor conductor. Then thermal conductivity. So here they are good conductor of heat. Good conductor of heat, and this is poor conductor of heat. One is good conductor of heat and another one is poor conductor of heat. Then the next one is a student, that is sonority. I will write it here one more thing, that the poor conductor of a heat and electricity, which is showing by that, actually there is an exception, and that exception is diamond in case of a poor conductor of a heat. In case of a poor conductor of a electricity, exception graphite. Okay. Then the next one is sonority. Metals generally sonorous. They are generally sonorous. And here they are non-sonorous. Generally they are sonorous, and here they are generally non-sonorous. Then melting point and boiling point. That is melting point and boiling point. Melting point and boiling point. So they are having generally high melting and boiling point. They are having generally high melting and boiling point. and this one is having low melting and boiling point. So these are generally high melting point and shows the high melting and a boiling point, and here they show generally the low melting and a boiling point, student. So we have now understood that what are the physical properties of metals and non-metals. Moving on, and we will see here the next one, and that is the chemical properties of the metals and non-metals. So we can write here that chemical properties. So it is not like the metals or non-metals are having the physical properties, but they react with a different substance to form the solution, to form the different compounds. So let us try to understand few reactions. So the first one is a reaction with oxygen. A reaction with oxygen. What happens when metal reacts with oxygen, students? So we can write it here that most of the metal as well as non-metals reacts with oxygen, and form oxides. So most of them, they react with oxygen to form oxide, student. So generally the metals, metals as well as non-metals, they used to react with oxygen to form oxide. Okay, so they used to form the oxide with the metals and non-metals. Now let us try to see that how metals react with the oxygen to form the oxide. So we have understood here that both of them will show the reaction, but let us try to find it that what kind of a reaction will be shown by the metal after reacting with the oxygen. So we can write it here that reaction of metal with the oxygen. Reaction of metals with the oxygen, students. So we can say here that metals reacts with oxygen to form oxide, to form metal oxides. So metal react with oxygen to form metal oxide. Metal oxide, which is formed by that of the oxygen, means a reaction with that of the oxygen. This metal oxide is basically basic in nature, students. Okay, so we can write it here, that is metal oxide which is formed, are basic in nature. Okay, so the metal oxide which is formed here, it is basic in nature. Okay, and these oxides form bases or alkaline metals. These form bases or alkalis, or alkalis metal, or bases or alkalis metals, students. They form the bases or alkalis when react with the water. See, these oxides, they form bases or alkalis when react with the water. So we have understood here three things, students. That is, metals, they generally react with oxygen to form metal oxide. These metal oxide, when you test it, that whether it is acidic or basic, you will find it is basic in nature. How will you come to know that it is a basic in nature? Actually, it starts reacting with water and form bases that are alkalis. So on the basis of that, we can say that metal react with oxygen to form metal oxides. Okay. Now let us see here that actually what happened when the reaction occur between the metal and oxygen. So what happened here, students? The metals react with oxygen to form metal oxide. And metal oxide react with the water to form a base. This is quite really important because once you will be able to write this, you can put any of the metal, you can make them to react, and finally you will get the metal oxide. And the same metal oxide, when you will react with that of the water, then there will be the formation of a base occur. So let us see here that different oxygen, a point that we should remember here, that is, different metal, they react with the oxygen at different temperature. Some of the metals, they are quite very reactive. So what happened when even they can react at room temperature, but some of them, they are quite unreactive, they are not very reactive. So they need energy, they need temperature. So we have to supply heat for them so that they can react with oxygen to form the metal oxide. So whenever we will going to study the different metals which react with the oxygen to form metal oxide, we should always remember that it is happening at a particular temperature. It means it can be at the room temperature or it need an energy. So we can write it that different metals react with oxygen at different temperature, and this all process depend upon its reactivity. Depends upon reactivity. Okay, so it totally depends upon the reactivity, students.